What's up, y'all, and welcome back to some more rSlash Real Talk Stories with your boy RT and my dude Dale. You guys, today we are going to dive into some real talk Am I the A-hole stories where OP decides that he wants to sleep in a separate room from his significant other. This could get interesting. I don't know how this is going to end up for OP, but without any further ado, let us dive into story number one.
I, female, 21, have an older sister, female, 26, who is sick all of the time, gets a bunch of rashes, and is complaining about how she constantly feels like crap. She was also diagnosed with an autoimmune disease about a year ago, and has ever since been blaming literally every single one of her issues on her autoimmune disease, even if the issue is completely irrelevant. She stubbed her toe? It's because of her disease. She's late to an event? It's because of her disease. She doesn't feel well? It's because of her disease. Doctors told her she's probably had this her entire life, but she also 5 years ago got breast implants. And the moment she said she started feeling so sick and horrible all of the time was the moment she got the implants. If y'all don't know, breast implant illness is a real thing. It's very common where women who get breast implants will start feeling sick after getting them. Now yesterday, we had some other family over at our house because they were in town for a bit. And my sister is doing her usual complaining about how horrible she feels all the time and how it's because of her autoimmune disease. I just got fed up with her complaining and told her that her being sick all of the time and feeling horrible is because of her breast implants, because she didn't start feeling that way until after she got them. Now, she didn't like that I said that at all and started screaming at me saying that I don't know what the F I'm talking about and I'm just trying to make this all about me. And so on. Me and her went back and forth for a minute until our mother stepped in the room and heard what was going on and pulled me into the other room with her and told me I was an a-hole for saying that because supposedly I don't know my sister better than she knows herself, and I exposed and embarrassed her in front of family. Family members visiting didn't know she had breast implants. My sister kept it very much on the down low to everyone about getting breast implants. So yes, I see how I might have embarrassed her, but the truth was going to come out anyways. I really don't think what I did was wrong at all because I think it's pretty obvious. This is breast implant illness. So help me out here, Reddit. Am I the a-hole?
So, I think that it is one of two things here. I think that OP is acting the way that she is acting for one of two reasons. I think number one, it could be a situation where OP is just tired of hearing her sister complain and complain and complain some more. I think OP is tired of hearing her sister come up with excuse after excuse about why she's feeling this way, and she's tired of hearing her sister use the autoimmune disease as being the reason why she's feeling this way. So OP took it upon herself to turn around and with a few keystrokes and after accessing Google and then leading herself to WebMD, she becomes a doctor in a matter of 2.2 seconds versus taking the long route and going to school for a couple of decades to become a medical professional in the art of medicine and science. She decides to become a doctor and go into WebMD, looks up the symptoms and says, hey, you know what, your implants, based off of WebMD, could be the reason why you are feeling this way, and I think that's the issue that you're experiencing here. That could be one of the reasons why OP is acting the way she's acting. She could just be tired of the excuses, or I personally think that it is number two. I think that OP is most likely jealous of how her sister looks with these implants. You know, I feel like everybody to a degree experiences some type of insecurity when it comes to their physical appearance, whether it is, you know, they are currently experiencing some type of insecurity about their physical experience, or that was something that they experienced a long time ago. Whatever the case is, I feel like everybody's been there at least once in their life. I know that I experience it. I currently experience it to this day. So I think maybe OP is like, you know what? I'm a little jealous, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to turn around and, you know, say that it is because of the implants that my sister is acting this way, because low key, I'm jealous of how she looks. And I mean, we all know implants of this particular nature have women looking a certain way. You know, and when you get implants, these kind of implants, it does something to a woman. I mean, I don't have to explain here on YouTube, you guys. Y'all already know. So my final verdict, whether it is case scenario A or B, case scenario number 1 or number 2, even though I personally think it's number 2, I think that OP is definitely the a-hole in this particular situation. Also, keep in mind, OP decided that in this particular moment, she was going to oust her sister. She was going to put all of her sister's information out there in front of family and close individuals to her and her sister. And obviously, her sister did not want that, had not shared that information. And I don't think that it was OP's place to divulge that particular information to anyone. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's close friends. I don't care how close the individuals are. I don't think that it's OP's job to turn around and do that. Whether she knew or not, she should have just kept her mouth shut and taken her sister separately and said, hey, look, I feel this way. Maybe you could, investigate and see if this could be the reason why you're feeling this way. But I think OP's emotions got the best of her. She's the a-hole.
I, male 28, have been dating my girlfriend Sarah, female 29, for the past 3 years. The relationship has been going great, and I love how amazing she is. But lately, I have been tired. We decided to move in a new apartment 2 months ago, and I also took a new job. The new job has been a bit stressful compared to my last job. Luckily, I am still getting time for my personal hobbies like gym and going out with Sarah. Now, the problem I want to talk about is my lack of sleep. I have been sleeping alone since I was 15 years old, and now sleeping with someone else is kind of bothering to me. I am used to the peace of sleeping alone. My girlfriend likes to sleep with a low fan on. She takes up too much space in bed. And most importantly, she snores sometimes, which ruins my sleep completely. She also has no concern for my sleep, as she wakes up before me and either switches on lights or makes noises. I am used to sleeping 7 to 8 hours a day, but for the past few months I have been sleeping only 4 to 5 hours because of this. So finally I got frustrated and confronted her about this. I know my girlfriend can't change in a day, so I proposed I will just sleep in the other room peacefully. She got upset and was furious about this suggestion. She believes sleeping together is a sign of love between a couple and that she likes cuddling or sleeping on top of me and says I should get used to it. She now thinks that I don't find her attractive, but that isn't true at all. I love my girlfriend, but all I want is a peaceful good night's sleep. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for this?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like OP is coming up with, a bunch of different complaints and issues and situations that, causes him to dislike this particular area of his life with his girlfriend, which could mean that he's just not into her anymore and this situation is just not working, even though he says he still loves her. That could be the case. It could also be a thing where, whenever you are in a relationship, it is different when you are living separately, and even if you see the person every single day, things are different. You don't see every part of this person. You don't see the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. You see some of the good, some of the bad, some of the ugly, some of the indifferent, because you're not with them 24/7. You're not surrounded by them all of the time. You're not sleeping with them. You're not laying next to them, waking up to them. You're not having breakfast with them. You're not walking around the house with them all day long. You get my point. So it is different when you are living with someone and experiencing life in that way versus when you are just in a relationship or a friendship or whatever kind of ship it is, and you see that person every day, but you're not living with that person. So I think OP is just not used to this quite yet. I think it's a situation where OP is not the a-hole. I think OP just needs to open his mind, get creative. I think that OP has the right to decide to sleep in a separate room from his girlfriend. I feel like he probably could stand to explain the situation a little bit more clearly before having made the shift to the other room. That way his girlfriend is understanding, and even before making the shift to the spare bedroom, OP could have turned around and came up with some alternatives, been like, hey, maybe we can try this. Maybe you can do this. Maybe I can try this. That might make the situation better for everybody. But I think a bigger part of it is you just have to learn to get used to it. If you really love somebody, you'll take some time and you will adapt to the new way of life. Because you know what? For all of those years prior to this, he was used to doing things one way. And once you're in a relationship, everything changes. One thing that I will say is that it is a little strange to me, and again, everybody's situation is different, but he did say that he had been sleeping in his own bed since he was 15 years old. So what happened in the first 15 years? Because 15 years old is a bit old to be sharing a bed with someone every single day. I mean, I understand on vacations, but every single day. Like, again, I don't know the whole situation or his life story or whatnot, but I just thought that was quite interesting. Either way, OP, I do not think you're the a-hole. I do think that you could have dealt with this a little bit differently. Hey, what do you guys think? Is he the a-hole? Should he have stayed in the room? Should he have done things differently? Is he not the a-hole for going into the spare bedroom? Let me know down in the comments.
My sister recently became a new mom, and she's been married for almost 2 years. We have a good relationship as siblings and friends, and I also get along well with her husband, despite not knowing him too well. One morning, my sister and I were playing with her son on my bed, and I noticed how calm he became when she hugged him. We had a lighthearted conversation about cuddling, where she mentioned her husband's concern about cuddling the baby too much would make him soft. I expressed my belief that cuddles make kids feel secure and happy, and to not let her husband dictate cuddle rules. However, my sister unexpectedly snapped at me, feeling that I had insinuated something negative about her husband. I was taken aback because I thought we were having some banter. I knew her husband wasn't serious about his comment. She then said she wishes she hadn't discussed the topic with me. This is the third time she's snapped at me during her visit for context. I normally apologize, but this time I could tell she was triggered by my words and told me off. I decided to take some time alone to think things through. Later, my sister confronted me about crossing a boundary by making that comment. I explained that I never intended to insult her husband or be rude, but rather, I wanted my nephew to feel loved. However, she insisted that I had crossed a line and accused me of not respecting other people's boundaries while enforcing my own. She went as far as to say that I have no right to tell her what to do. This made me so angry. So in order to regain composure, I simply said okay and asked her to leave my room. Our conversation ended abruptly, and we didn't speak for the rest of the day. The next day, I offered her a cup of coffee as a peace offering, as I believed she had misunderstood my intentions and reacted strongly. However, she expressed discomfort being at our house and left a house sit for a relative, which made my mom cry. I don't believe my comment was that offensive, and it seems like the situation has been blown out of proportion. I'm unsure if I am the one at fault here. Am I the a-hole?
So I think that this situation was definitely blown out of proportion. I think that it's not this deep. I don't think it's this serious. At the same time, I think that it's a situation where OP probably is just not aware of everything that's taking place right here in this particular moment. She introduced a very important detail that I hope you picked up on in the very beginning of her story, in the beginning of her post. She said that her sister is a new mom. She had just given birth. I don't know whether it had been a couple of months ago, a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago. Either way, she is a new mom. So, there are a lot of things that take place within a woman's body after giving birth. I know this from experience with my sisters and being around them and being around some of my cousins and being around my ex-wife, after she gave birth to our son. There are a lot of mental, emotional, psychological, biological things that are taking place within a woman's body. So I think OP might be a little unaware. I don't know. She might be a little unaware to what is taking place within her sister's body. I don't think that what OP said is malicious. I don't think she said it to be spiteful or out of disrespect for her sister's husband at all. I mean, shoot. If y'all have enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the subscription button and the bell notification icon. That way you guys are notified every single time we drop some real talk stories here on the channel. And you guys, for the YouTube algorithm, hey, why don't you go ahead and click the like button if you've enjoyed today's stories, y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining me today, and until next time, many blessings and much love, y'all.